Hello everyone and welcome. Have you been looking for an oscilloscope but found them to be too big, bulky, and expensive? Well, today I'll be unboxing and reviewing this 2-in-1 multimeter and oscilloscope from Zotek. This is a full-function multimeter with a large range of capabilities, plus it also has a built-in oscilloscope that is compact, portable, and affordable. So if you're interested in electronic testing and want to add an affordable and compact oscilloscope, plus a full power multimeter to your tool arsenal, then stick around to see if this is something that you may be interested in. Alright guys, so when you unbox this puppy, this is everything you get. This is the Zotek 2-in-1 oscilloscope and multimeter, available on Amazon, link in description below. At the time of making this video, this kit retails for $69.99. So what do you get when you unbox this guy? Well, you get the multimeter itself, you get all sorts of test leads and so forth, test leads for the oscilloscope, test leads for the multimeter, a thermocouple test lead. You get a USB cable to charge this guy up because it does have a rechargeable internal battery. You get the owner's manual that tells you everything about how to use this guy. So if you're not familiar with any of the functions, hang on to this because you'll need it, and it tells you everything about it. It even has very clear color pictures inside which explain how to use everything. And you also get a nice case to be able to store this guy in when you're not using it. The warranty on this guy is 1 year, and the weight of this guy is only half a pound, very lightweight. The dimensions on this guy are 7 inches by 3.5 by 1.5 in thickness, very compact. For a big oscilloscope, very powerful, very compact indeed. This guy is powered by an 18650 rechargeable and replaceable battery. It's very easy to just open this guy up, 4 screws on the back. Your battery ever goes bad, replace it, pop a new one in, no soldering required. This guy comes with a 2.8 IPS display with 320 by 240 resolution that is backlit for ease of viewing. And the backlit is adjustable to whatever is your comfort level. This is a true RMS multimeter with 9,999 counts of reading. It has an auto power off function that you can adjust to however long you want to set that to. You can change the language on this on the menu and go into either English or Chinese. It has a USB port on the side for charging the battery, or it can also be used as an output for the display to a computer screen, whether a laptop or a simple screen by itself, whatever you want to use, so you can have a much larger display, just like a big powerful oscilloscope. This guy has 250 volt 10 amp max or 250 volt 200 milliamp max double fused input. It has a 600 volt Cat 4 or 1000 volt Cat 3 rating. It has all the features of a multimeter such as ohms, capacitance, resistance, diode, frequency, temperature reading, and more. The oscilloscope has a single channel 10 MHz bandwidth with high sampling rate. You can select the automatic sampling, normal, single trigger, or more. This unit has a 3 volt 1 kHz continuous square wave output for calibration, which I'll show you in just a moment. So this unit is great for all sorts of testing and calibration, and can be used for industrial, electronic testing, automotive, and household repairs. For automotive use in particular, it can be very useful because you can use this inexpensive oscilloscope for testing automotive waveforms on sensors to find faults in your vehicle. I'm sure you've probably seen some automotive channels on YouTube where they use complex equipment like the picoscope that cost a lot of money for testing different sensor outputs on your vehicle. Well, this oscilloscope should be able to give you at least one channel of testing for reading different fault codes in your vehicle for a fraction of the price of what the picoscope would cost. With this oscilloscope, you can test anomalies without the use of a much more expensive or complex testing tool. So let's take a look at this guy. Let's test some things out and see how it performs. Alright guys, so let's take a little closer look at the oscilloscope slash multimeter and see some of the different things that it can do, what it looks like, all the different features that it has, and so forth. Now, one thing I'll say right off the bat is that I'm not going to get extremely technical on this, because even though I do test and show how to use different technical things on my channel, this is not a high-tech channel. If you're a beginner, I don't want to scare you away and think that this is way over your head and something that you can't use or control or learn from. That's not the case. This has a very good owner's manual with it, and there's a lot of different things that you can learn from so you can use this a whole lot better. If you're a beginner, you can take this tool and learn at whatever level you're comfortable with. If you're experienced, you really don't need me to show you how to do anything. You know exactly what a multimeter and what an oscilloscope can do. So I'm just going to run through some of the features on this guy, and beginner or experienced, you can go with whatever level you're comfortable with and grow from there. And if this is a good tool for you as a professional user or an experienced, you'll know just by looking at this guy and some of the different functions that it has. So we start off looking at the oscilloscope function on this, and I have it set to the square wave that it puts out, and you can see you hook it up here for the oscilloscope for doing testing and so forth, and then you have your connection over here on this side, and there you have your ground lead right there and your test lead, this guy right here. For the oscilloscope, you plug them both in right over here. And this is your USB output right there for charging or for outputting for different media and so forth. And it gives you a nice little screen right there where you have the square wave, and you can adjust it to however it is that you want to see it, whether you want to increase the amplitude, change it up, down, whatever the case may be. And then as far as the trigger goes, everything is controlled by these F keys here. As you're going to see as I go through it, with the menu and so forth, you can adjust the different things here. What shows up on here, you use with the F keys. This is not a touch screen. Everything goes with these F keys right there. And then you have the different mode settings and everything right there. The mode key right here is what will take you between oscilloscope and multimeter. That's all that this key does. Everything else does exactly what it says it will do. So on this guy, if you want to change the trigger, then you go like that right there, hit the trigger, hit the F3 key right there, and you can adjust it up, down, and then you see it start changing right there, and change it to whatever is convenient for you. And there you go. You adjust the trigger to whatever works best for you. Then you go back to there, and like I said, you have a change of the different waveform. So that's very convenient right there as far as calibration, any kind of testing and so forth. This just gives you a standard that you can go from, and then you use this probe to test all sorts of other equipment that you want to look at. But at least this gives you an idea right there. You can use it for calibration, and it does have an auto calibration function also. But you can use that to calibrate it, make sure it's not waving and going all over the place before you start doing any testing. And all the different keys down here, like I said, are very easy to use, very easy to understand. If you want to go through any of the different functions up here for the F keys, they all change. All you do is hit the menu button, and everything tells you right there exactly what you can do. And you just scroll through it going sideways, all the different functions that are available. And in case you can't see it, let me get a little closer to you right there. And you see right there all the different things that are available. And you just change through it. And then you just use the F keys to select up and down whatever it is that you want to do. So that's very convenient right there. Very easy to use. Now let's take a look at the multimeter and see what that can do. And then all the hookups for the multimeter are down here. You have the COM plug right there. And then you have all the different multimeter functions there. And the different amps, milliamps, and 10 amps right there that you have to change it over for whatever it is that you want to be testing with and so forth. And then you have your power function up here. You can see exactly how charged up this guy is, and many more readings there as well. So let's change that over. Let's unplug this guy right here, and then the wave goes away. Don't want to damage that. There we go. And then the wave goes away, and you go over to the mode key, and then you go to your multimeter right there. So let me hook these guys up, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's do a little bit of testing with this guy using the thermocouple. I have the thermocouple sensors already installed right there, and you hook it up right here at the bottom. I switched over to temperature reading just using the little function keys right there. And you can see right there it's on temperature, and you can see the reading right there where it shows you in min, max, centigrade, Fahrenheit, all that kind of good stuff. And that's going to change as I put this into this hot water that I have right here. There's a little cup right here. I just heated up this water, so we'll see exactly what it's at. You can see right there it's reading 20 degrees centigrade, which is basically room temperature. So, and then you have the min and the max right there. Let's put this guy in here and see how this reads. And there you go. That goes straight up right away, telling you exactly what the temperature is. And down there, if you want to see Fahrenheit, that's what it tells you that right there. Everything else is in centigrade, but that little corner right there tells you Fahrenheit, so you can read both at the same time. And there you go, 84 degrees centigrade. And that would be 183 degrees Fahrenheit. If you can't see it, let me move that up a little closer for you. You can see right there all the different temperature reading. So that gives you very convenient if you want to use this to test temperature and so forth. The thermocouple, very convenient. Use it on hot, cold, whatever it is that you need to do. So let's do something else. All right, so let's test a few other things and so forth. So you see I have the new leads plugged into here. And I have the 2 test leads right here. And the test leads, in case you're wondering, are 3 feet long. So they're quite long. You can go quite a ways with these leads, 3 feet long. That's very convenient. So you can stand this guy up. It has a little prop rod on the back where you can stand it up and look at it and work on your bench wherever is convenient for you. So anyway, let's test something else a little bit here. And right here, you see that I have it set to diode right now. We're going to test the diode. And to do that, all you do is use the F key, and all you do is cycle through all the different things. As you press it, it'll go through all the different things that you want to see, and you're back to diode. This has 4 functions on that one key right there. So I have a simple little diode right here. We're going to test it to see if it's any good or not. And for those of you that are familiar, you know exactly how this works. Those of you that are not, a diode is a little device that only allows power to go in one direction, not back. It goes forward, not backwards. That's the way it goes, one direction. So let's test the leads right here. You test the little power and the ground, and we'll test it exactly to see. You see right there, it works. That tells you exactly the voltage going through that right there. Now, if we flip it over, we hook it up again, and we see that we have nothing. So it's working as it should, allowing power to only to go in one direction. So this little diode right here is good. So that's very convenient. It tests everything for you just exactly the way you want it to be. All right, so how about this time we test a little bit of voltage? And to do that, all you do is go to the F1 right there, and you can cycle through a lot of different things. Right there, it's on DC. But you can cycle through AC, true RMS, as you can see right there. And you can cycle back to DC and so forth. So it gives you a lot of different things to cycle through. And it's just randomly moving a bit right there. But if you touch the two together, you see it's 0, no voltage going through there. And I have this 18650 battery right here. It's been sitting in a drawer for months. I don't even know if it has any power. It may be completely dead. I charged it up before I put it away. Let's see if it's any good or not. So we have the positive right up here. And we'll touch the negative down there, and we have 3.77 volts. That's not too bad at all. So this is, well, down, it's dropping, yeah. 2.6, 2.0, around there, yeah. So it's been sitting for a long, long time. So I'm amazed it has any power left in it whatsoever. So 2.6, not bad. It's still about halfway. So if I need to use this, I need to recharge it. And you can see right there how you get numerically and graphically. You can see the graph right above it, that it tells you exactly what you're looking at. So whatever is most convenient for you, whatever you enjoy looking at, you get them both at the same time. So that's pretty cool right there. All right, so let's take a look at this little DC motor that I have right here, and we'll test this guy out for ohms and see how this guy is internally. There's a little DC motor I have lying around. I probably took it out of something that was no good, and I took it apart. So let's see how this little motor is on the inside. So we just hook up the 2 test leads to it, and that'll tell us a little bit about that motor. And you can see that the audio beeping is on this little guy right here, which some people like that, some people don't. You can turn it off in the menu if you don't like it. So let's test this guy out, see what the ohms rating is on this guy. And you see right there, it starts telling you exactly what's going on with the windings internally on this little motor. So there you go. Very convenient right there. Graphic and digital display. And it'll tell you if the little motor is good enough or not for you to use in whatever project it is that you have in mind. So there you go. Very useful little tool right there. All right, guys, there you have it. A very convenient tool for doing all sorts of electrical testing around your house or your shop. A very compact and affordable oscilloscope and multimeter all in one. For about the same price as some multimeters on the market, you can get this oscilloscope and multimeter from Zotek. Now, I've tested products from Zotek before, and they worked out for me just fine. I found them to be very good quality products at very affordable prices. So if you have always wanted an oscilloscope, but couldn't afford the high cost, or didn't want to have a big bulky unit taking up space in your shop, this little guy right here can solve both those issues. Check out their Amazon page for complete details. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.